Despite the incredible suffering that was occurring all around them, the covenant of Isaiah comes with hope. Even with unmitigated pain and destruction, God promises to send the Messiah to bring about restoration unto his people. This is the Isaiah covenant. The fundamental concept of the Isaiah covenant is hope through judgment.
This is what the Lord says, in the time of my favor I will answer you, and in the day of salvation I will help you. I will keep you, and I will make you be a covenant for the people, to restore the land and to reassign its desolate inheritance, to say to the captives, come out, and to those in darkness, be free.
From the incredible destruction that was wrought about by both the Assyrian and Babylonian destruction of Israel and Judah, the people of these lands must have believed that the totality of their hope and promise and culture, religion and God was being destroyed with it. In particular, the Temple of Jerusalem stood as the emblem that God still rested upon this city, that God's presence would still be in this place. As long as the temple stood, God's presence would be secure, and if God's presence was amongst them, then they could rebuild any nation they so desired. Yet when the Babylonians destroyed the Temple of Jerusalem, it was as if God's presence itself had shifted from the land, and with the loss of the presence of God, was the loss of hope. And in the early pages of Isaiah, this seems to be the theme. Isaiah speaks in terrific detail about the destruction and judgment that is coming upon Israel and Judah and the surrounding nations. Yet Isaiah uses a fascinating image to describe both the coming destruction and the hope that will be generated.
See, the Lord Almighty will lop off the boughs with great power. The lofty trees will be felled, the tall ones will be brought low. He will cut down the forest thickets with an axe. Lebanon will fall before the mighty one. A shoot will come up from the stump of Jesse. From his roots a branch will bear fruit. The Spirit of the Lord will rest on him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and of might, the Spirit of knowledge and fear of the Lord. He will delight in the fear of the Lord.
Though we see these nations are falling, God is going to bring about a new shoot from a tree. Anyone who's ever cut down a tree and left a stump, you know those stumps can be punks for starting to regrow themselves and get the tree going again. Isaiah gives this beautiful image that the pitiful shoot that comes from a destroyed tree has power, has potential, so much so that from the house of David, God is going to raise up someone who in his initial appearance may look pathetic, but holds the key for the very restoration of Israel. Even as a felled tree can have a tenacious drive to regrow and rebuild itself, even despite what appearance of destruction, God is going to bring forth a new shoot from the tribe of Jesse, from the line of David, that is going to bring about God's hope and restoration through his people. Henceforth, the thrust of the book of Isaiah is describing the nature of this coming root. More than any other book in the Old Testament, the book of Isaiah describes the life, ministry, and redemptive work of the Messiah in greater detail than any other book. Possibly more than any other book in all of the Old Testament, the book of Isaiah miraculously predicts incredibly specific details of the life of Jesus Christ. This includes him coming from the line of David, being born of a virgin, having a healing ministry where the deaf will hear and the blind will see, that he will be a light to the Gentiles and bring them into his fold, and also being scourged and spat upon, being crucified with other transgressors, suffering for our sins, being buried in the tomb with the rich, and eventually swallowing up death and defeating it for all of mankind. When we read the book of Isaiah through the medium that it is being spoken to a hopeless, broken, lost people, the characteristics of the Messiah that are revealed are incredibly poignant and relevant. It's almost as if Isaiah is responding to the concerns and crises of the people of the day. Will the Messiah help those who are hurting?
The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is on me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives and release from darkness for the prisoners, and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow upon them the crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and the garment of praise instead of the spirit of despair, They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of his splendor.
We're so lost and scared. Will the Messiah show us love and truth?
The people walking in darkness have seen a great light. To those living in the land of deep darkness, a light has dawned. You have enlarged the nation and increased their joy. They rejoice before us as people rejoice at harvest, as warriors rejoice in dividing the plunder.
Will the Messiah heal those who are sick?
Then will the eyes of the blind be opened, and the ears of the deaf unstopped. Then will the lame leap like deer, and the mute tongue shout for joy. Waters will gush forth in the wilderness and streams in the desert.
Will he forgive the terrible things we have done?
But he was pierced for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. We all, like sheep, have gone astray. Each of us has turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all.
In some ways, the Isaiah covenant mirrors both the ministry of the Messiah and the experiences of the people at this time. As they're watching their nation crumble into ruin, they're seeing their hope die in the most indignant, painful way. In the same way, Isaiah promises that the Messiah himself will suffer and die in the most indignant way. Yet Isaiah promises that the Messiah himself is going to defeat death, is going to stand in ultimate glory, in ultimate victory, and bring about the redemption of his people so they can live in the ultimate fulfillment of God's promise.
He will swallow up death forever. The sovereign Lord will wipe away the tears from all faces. He will remove the people's disgrace from all the earth.
The parallel prophecy is the same thing will happen for Judah. One day God will restore their land, he will restore their people, he will restore their temple, and he will restore the promises that he has made over them. In this painful season of judgment, God will bring about redemption. Hope in judgment and judgment to redemption is the nature of the Isaiah covenant.